Are you stuck with how to start calisthenics the right way? Well, in this video I'm going to show you a proven method and formula to solve that for you. What is going on, my friends? This is Jake of www.jgcalisthenics.co.uk, and for the best tips and guidance of starting calisthenics, make sure that if you're new to the channel, you subscribe to the channel now and hit that bell so you don't miss a single video, as I upload videos specifically for you every Monday and Thursday. If you feel paralyzed and stuck with really, the best routine to starting calisthenics at home, literally as I experienced exactly myself, in this video I'm going to give you a foolproof method and a workout routine, right, as a whole to, actually starting calisthenics in the comfort of your own home. And again, this is the formula that I give to my clients, and as you can see from one of my long-serving clients, Tim, this formula and this method that I'm going to show you in this video has worked very well for him. So first of all, we're going to start by going over the key exercise we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on 6 main movements, and these can be known as the 6 main chains, which I got inspiration from, and I give huge credit to Matt Shifley, my friend from the Red Delta Project, right? And so the first exercise we're going to focus on is push-ups, which is also known as the push chain, so your chest, shoulders, and triceps, right? So when starting out with calisthenics, we all got to start somewhere, my friend. Whether whatever level you may start out at. If you're completely new, you may want to consider doing wall push-ups at a high incline, right? And so with incline push-ups, what you can do is that as you get stronger over time, you work your way down to reduce the incline, right? So going from wall push-ups to incline push-ups on a bench, as an example. And as you get stronger over time, you reduce the incline, and eventually you keep on doing that with good form, and you do that into the point where you're doing it completely horizontally. So you're doing push-ups completely horizontally on the floor. Do you see what I mean? And then with the push chain, we've also got the pull chain, our pull-ups and chin-ups, that being primarily our back and biceps, right? And so when starting out with calisthenics, particularly comfortable at home, you can do scapular pull-ups, right? And depending on the strength level, if you can do this with some assistance by putting either your feet on the floor or your feet on a chair, depending on the setup, because we all got to start somewhere, and as I said, we all got to start somewhere, and the best time to start is now, right? And obviously, as we get stronger over time, we can progress the exercise. So as we're doing our scapular pull-ups, the next progression from that is to do assisted chin-ups or assisted pull-ups, right? And again, I'll be demonstrating this video on my rings simply because it's the most convenient setup, right? But if you look at my previous videos, right, when I started out with just a plain simple pull-up bar in the comfort of my own home, in my kitchen, as you may have yourself, right, watching this video, you may want to do this instead of on rings and with your feet on the floor. You can do this on a door pull-up bar as an example, and then put your feet on a chair for elevation, so you can still pull all the way up to the bar where your chin passes the bar, and you're still able to get that full range of motion. Does that make sense? Awesome. So again, with the assisted chin-ups, you want to make sure you're using as little assistance from the legs as possible, because the less assistance you use, the harder it's going to be, so you can overload the back and biceps, right? And a way to progress the assisted chin-up is to simply flip your grip around to do assisted pull-ups, as that will be slightly harder because your biceps won't be helping as much compared to the assisted chin-ups, right? Do you see what I mean? And so once these get comfortable, what you can try is do what's known as mechanical advantage assisted pull-ups and chin-ups, right? So what we do from here is we pull up with assistance, right? And then once we do that, we lift our legs up and lower down without assistance. So we're overloading the eccentric phase of the movement to progress the exercise, right? Do you see what I mean? And so again, you can start this out by doing this in a supinated grip, so doing this in a chin-up grip, and then you can progress this by, again, simply flipping the grip around and doing mechanical advantage assisted pull-ups, right? And so again, I highly encourage you to focus on that slow eccentric, really focusing on using as little assistance from your legs when you pull up. And once you feel to the point where you're barely using any assistance whatsoever, that's where you can do complete, full, unassisted chin-ups, right? Which is, man, I remember the first time I could bang out unassisted chin-ups, I felt like Superman. It's an awesome feeling, my friend. I want you to feel that the same, right? And so obviously with chin-ups, again, as I said, the same guidelines apply. And once you progress with chin-ups and you're just getting strong as heck, right, you can do full range of motion pull-ups, right? And for more guidance in regards to pull-ups and how to become a pull-up king when being new to bodyweight training calisthenics, you can check out the card here, as I've got a full playlist on how to become a pull-up king and go from 0 reps to 10 and beyond, right? After the pull chain, we got the squat chain. So squats, right, being, our quads, our hamstrings, glutes, etc. And so obviously when starting out with calisthenics, you know, the very first point we can start with is body weight squats, right? That's the best way to start if you're not sure where to start, right? Because as you get stronger over time, or if you feel that these are too easy, what you can do is progress onto split squats, Bulgarian split squats. So instead of, you know, pressing evenly from both legs, we can do more unilateral work, so each limb has to work harder separately. Do you see what I mean? And then once that gets comfortable, as I'll be outlining later on in this video, you can do side to side squats. So instead of it being unilateral in regards of the Bulgarian split squat, you simply place your feet wider than, you know, as you would in a regular squat, much wider in fact, and you lean over to one side and do your side to side squats from there, so you can overload the legs to grow stronger and stronger over time. And from here you simply widen your stance more and more to the point where as you come onto your working side, the opposing leg is completely straight, right? And that is known as archer squats. And this is a really great progression to work towards, because this will really help you not only gain a lot of leg strength, right, but also help you gain the adequate hip and ankle mobility to progress onto the one leg squats and such, which is pretty cool, right? After the squats, we can move on to the flexion chain, which is basically the anterior core. And so obviously we're talking about the abs, right, particularly as a prime example. And we can do this with knee raises. So when starting out with calisthenics, you want to consider doing this on a floor by doing lying knee raises, focusing on good quality repetitions, right? And then as you get stronger over time, what you can do is that you can do this in a hollow body position, because this will put a lot more tension and stress, I guess you could say good stress on you know, the anterior core, particularly the abs, to grow stronger over time. And once, you know, hollow body knee raises, when done right, get fairly comfortable, you can actually hang overhead from a bar and do hanging knee raises. And once you can do these, you're gonna have a solid set of core muscles, my friend. And with any progression in this realm, what you'll want to consider is that the more you pull your knees up, the harder it's going to be, and the less you pull your knees up, the easier it's going to be. So that's a good way to make each exercise harder, and also bridge the gap between one exercise to the next if you may feel stuck on one progression. Next up, we got bridges, which is in regards to the posterior chain, so working all the muscles in the back side of our body, right? And a great progression to start with this is glute bridges, right? You can do this on the floor, or what I usually recommend, as I see most clients who are strong enough to do this, is do this with your feet elevated, right? On a bench or a sofa, especially if you're working out at home, right? And do glute bridges from there, right? And so from there, once that gets too easy and you can do quite a few repetitions of these, again, as I'll be outlining later in this video, you can do tabletop bridges, right? And this is a great way, as I said, to work the entire, all the muscles in the back, the spinal erectors, the glutes, hamstrings, etc. And then as you get stronger over time, focus on good quality repetitions. You can go from bent legs, which is slightly easier, to straight legs, which is which will feel a lot more challenging. So just make sure that as you go from one progression to the next, you focus on good quality form so you can progress the best way possible. Do you see what I mean? And then lastly, the last exercise I'm going to go through is side planks, which is going to train the lateral chain, the muscles in the side of our body, like the obliques, the abductors, right? Muscles that are very important, right? That most people don't train, right? But we got to make sure we are getting as strong as possible in every area of our body. So with side planks, we can start a knee tucked side plank, as this is the easier progression to start with. Again, we will start somewhere. And then whether this is too easy or as you get stronger over time, you can do staggered side planks. So you have your feet wider to provide a wider base of support, right? And then as that gets stronger, you can bridge your legs and your feet closer together, so you're doing a complete straight bent arm side plank. And once that gets comfortable, you can do, instead of having your elbow bent, you can come up so your elbow is straight, doing straight arm side plank to make the exercise even harder. And if you want to add a challenge in any of these exercise progressions, you can actually raise your leg that's closest to, that's facing the ceiling, right? And do a starfish variation of that. That's really going to fire up the glutes. That makes the exercise a lot harder, whichever progression that is, right? And also comment below, I'd love to know, what is your favorite place to work out? Is it in the comfort of your own home? Or maybe do you have priorities and maybe a busy working schedule to the point where, you know, you actually just want to move out away from home temporarily to actually work out in the gym? I'd love to know. At home, in the gym, what's your favorite? Comment below. Right, so let's move on to the workout structure, shall we? So we've focused on the main 6 movements when starting calisthenics at home, right? And so structure this into a routine. You can do this full body 3 times a week on non-consecutive days. A prime example being Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? Or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever's best for you and best fits your schedule, because the easiest and the most important way to gain results when starting calisthenics is your adherence to your own training plan. Do you see what I mean? And so with that, you can do, as a good rule of thumb, 6 to 12 reps of each repetition, maybe a bit less for harder progressions like the pull-ups, and maybe even a bit more when starting out with the likes of wall push-ups or incline push-ups. Do you see what I mean? You can do whatever best serves you. Just make sure that, you know, if an exercise feels too hard, then it may be best to actually scale the intensity down by using an easier progression. And once the exercise feels easy, it's time to scale things up so you can keep on making those gains, my friend. For sets, a good rule of thumb is 2 to 4 sets. I'd honestly recommend, you know, just keeping it simple if you're not sure, of 3 sets as a good rule of thumb. Resting, you know, 1 to 3 minutes between each set, so you can actually have the most energy for each set, each rep, to get as strong as possible. Because if you want to build muscle, lose fat, then a lot of that, if you're getting stronger over time, my friend, you are going to see the most progress that way. Right, so what I'm going to do as I edit this video, I'm going to give a template of what I've actually said in this video, of what a workout routine would actually look like for you when starting calisthenics as a beginner in the comfort of your own home, right? Again, I hope this all makes sense, and obviously take it, cherish it, and go make the most of it, my friend. You can do it. We've all got to start somewhere. The best time to start is now. So now you know how to start calisthenics at home, which is awesome, right? You know the workouts, the exercise, that, but what about actually structuring it into a cohesive routine, as well as actually having a complete nutrition guide to supplement that, right? And that's exactly why I have written a complete 30-page guide for starting calisthenics, especially in the comfort of your own home, that you can actually download right now at my website, and I'll leave that in the link in the description below. And you know, not only when you actually sign up for the Gains Train Express newsletter, where I give valuable emails each and every week, when you sign up, I will actually send you 2 guides, not 1, 2, right? 1 being your complete free beginner calisthenics program, and 2 after that is a motivation guide to ensure that you can keep moving forward, and again, make sure that you never lose the motivation to miss out on your fitness goals again. If you like this video, please let me know by giving this video a cheeky thumbs up, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and share this with a friend or friends who you believe would find value within this video. And lastly, of course, I'd love to know, comment down below what part of this video you found most helpful. And again, if you enjoyed this video and you actually want to keep on watching to see more, what I actually do somewhere around here, right, depending on how I'm editing this video, right, I'll actually link a full playlist of how to start calisthenics, where I give, you know, a complete exercise tutorials for what I've mentioned in this video, and how to start calisthenics, whether you're overweight, skinny fat, 40, 50, anything, right? I have this YouTube channel is specifically for you, my friend, for starting calisthenics in the comfort of your own home, so you can build a body you're proud of. Again, I'll link it somewhere here. And again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video, my friend. And as a crew member of the Gains Train Express, keep moving forward.